Gather around and I'll teach you how to be greedy. For people who are very, very religious, the Bible, somewhere between Old and New Testament, says that your cup has to run over before you can, your cup overflows, and so you have to fill up your own cup to the brim, and then what overflows now is for the rest of the people. Even in an airplane, they'll teach you that you have to wear your oxygen mask first before you can help another person wear their own oxygen mask, especially if there's like an emergency on the airplane. Hi, my name is Rafa Gottloff. On today's edition of School of Life, I'm going to teach us about self-care. School of Life is a program where I sit down and I try to teach you life lessons in a way that is easy to digest. Let's get to self-care. The first thing you need to know about self-care is that don't let other people put their burden on you. Family members, friends, whatever, don't let nobody put their burden on you. This is very common with African families because some family members feel that, oh, my brother is rich and so I have a right to his money. Even if you lazy around and do nothing, you just expect that since he's my brother, he has to give me this. And since he's my sister, I've heard uncles and aunties tell their children, oh, your uncle is rich and why don't they take care of you? And your auntie has a lot of money and she doesn't take care of you. I'm not my auntie's responsibility. I'm not my uncle's responsibility, okay? Everybody has to carry their responsibility, and irrespective of the fact that people might look rich and sound rich and act rich, they have their own problems. There's also rich people problems, okay? Nevertheless, it's problems still. So don't minimize people's problems and you think that you have to put your weight on them. Rafa, what are you talking about? Since I can't talk about you, I'll just talk about my own self. There's this friend of mine, and I'm not going to mention names because all of these people are still alive. The friend of mine has a child out of wedlock before. I will not even consider this particular person a friend. I'll just say it's an acquaintance, somebody I know, because I don't keep those kind of friends. This acquaintance of mine has a child already out of wedlock. The parents of the girl took responsibility for the child, and so he was like off the hook. He now impregnates another girl, and he comes to me. He impregnates now a different girl, and he comes to me on a Saturday morning because I work even on weekends. For those who don't know, in real life, like away from the camera, I do makeup artistry and I do clothes for males and females. I actually can sew. Okay, very fancy clothes. I'm called Rafa across all social media handles. On Instagram, I'm Rafa_237. On YouTube, I'm Rafa237. So that was a shameless plug, but this guy comes to my working space, my atelier, and he says, I need 40,000 francs. What do you need 40,000 francs for? I need it because my girlfriend needs to go for hospital. You go to the hospital for pre-baby visits. So when you're pregnant, you need to go to the hospital frequently. Pregnant women know this. First of all, it's money that is not going to be invested into business, okay? Second of all, I didn't have the money at hand. Third of all, I was offended that he's impregnating a second girl and he still has no job and he still does nothing, and you feel that you're going to be living by borrowing money from people, and it's money that you cannot give back because all of your life, or all of the time that at least I've known you, you've not been able to do anything tangible with money that has been given to you, and when you get into debt, you never really pay back on time. I didn't have the money and I told him, and even if I had, I was not willing to give him, okay? But I didn't have. And I told him, I said, this is sudden. You don't come to me in the morning, I'm not even eating in the morning, and you're like, oh, you need 40,000 francs. This particular acquaintance of mine got angry. And Rafa, you should have money, and you cannot tell me that you don't have money. And you're lying. I'm like, did you give me money to keep? That when I got angry, and I told him, I said, do you think my own penis doesn't function? Yours gives birth to children, and you impregnate girls. Like, you think mine doesn't function? Children are things that you don't just make babies. You think, you plan. Pregnancy has its ups and downs and all of that. You need to do how do they call it? I don't know how they call it, but you buy things for the baby. You plan ahead of time. You know all of the you don't do it overnight. I'm like, you You don't get a girl pregnant first before start thinking of what you want to do. Did you even want the baby and things like that? So it was a nasty situation. It didn't end up well. And he got offended with me because, well, I didn't give him money that he wanted. I had money and I didn't want to give him. And I felt I was being disrespected because you don't expect me to just give you money that I first of all did not have. And even if I had, I'm sure I would not still want to give. And organize your life and care for your shit, care for your business. Don't put your troubles on other people because other people have other things to do with the money that you think they have. Okay? Rich people work so hard, you wonder why they work so hard. Like, they have money already because their focus is not just to have what to eat and sleep. They want to build businesses, they want to build empires, they want to do things. They have a lot of things to do with their lives. And for you, it's nothing because as long as you eat and have sex and all of that, it's okay for you. Fine, if that's all of what you want to do with your life, but don't hold me ransom for not giving you money and doing things for you because I want to do something else with my life. Okay? Because I sacrifice my time while you drink. I sacrifice my time while you waste your own life. There's a story, and I'm going to really belabor this point. There's a story we learned while in primary school that the ant will go out and look for food, and the grasshopper will be playing during the dry season. And when the rainy season comes, the ant has a lot of food for herself and her children. But the grasshopper now is starving because all of this while he was jumping up and down and playing and was not planning. So you need to plan for your future and stop holding people responsible for not helping you. Help yourself. And why don't you help other people? Why must other people always help you? So become a help and a source of help and inspiration to somebody else. Don't always wait for people to be the person to help you. That's the first thing, okay? So you need to avoid laziness. You need to avoid this attitude that you live your life and tomorrow I've heard people saying, enjoy your life. Tomorrow there's no guarantee that I'll see tomorrow. And these people are still alive till today. So the decisions that you make and the way you live your life is going to haunt you in your future. So don't take it for granted. The third method for self-care, apart from not allowing people bring their burdens to you, is that you need to spoil yourself. Spoil yourself, give yourself a treat, take care of yourself. It's your body that works the money. Care for yourself. Okay? Care for yourself, because once you don't care for yourself and you're hustling and grinding and struggling to achieve things and you're not taking out time to rest, to care for yourself, to just relax, and we're going to talk about resting a little more in the third point, but you need to care for yourself. Go for a picnic. Take a guilty pleasure, watch a movie or something. Me, I worked in 4 salons before having an atelier where I do makeup artistry now and clothes. So I have an idea of how to massage and how to do foot scrubs and facial scrubs and all of that. So that weekends, not like every month, but that sometimes when I really find out time for myself and I have a little bit of spare time, I'm going to sit down and scrub my feet and take care of my face and just take care of myself. Okay? And I don't apologize for nothing. I care for myself. I really look after myself. So it's important that you do that, because there's nobody that's going to do it for you. You might have a lot of money in your hand and you don't care for yourself, and there's nobody that only going to say, but look at this person. They have money and they have the means to do it, and they don't do it. So that's the next thing. You need to really, really spoil yourself. It's not a bad thing to spoil yourself once in a while. It's a guilty pleasure. And when you work and don't play, you lose the joy of working. You lose your zeal and your desire. It looks like you're just a slave chasing after money and chasing after life. And you're going to die and go and leave all of these things that you're chasing after. So find some time to care for yourself. So that's the second self-care lesson. The third thing is that you need to rest. Rest your body. Rest, sleep a lot. Science research say that a human being needs to sleep for at least 8 hours. Some people say more hours and things like that. But whatever works for you, rest. Rest your body. Find some time to relax yourself and rest. Resting does not necessarily mean that sleeping or things like that, but look for some quiet time to have some quiet so that your brain too can rest and all of that. It's important because once you rest, your body kind of reboots. Okay, and when you come back from the rest, or whether it's a short break, a long break, a holiday. The Cameroonian government gives people like holiday, or everybody who works in government, they have like some few days in a year or a month or two in a year that you can choose to go for 2 weeks, you can choose to go for a week. It's like a holiday. They give it for it's allowed for everybody to go on this holiday, and you come back and you can decide. You can want to do it in January, you can want to do it in December, you can want to do it anytime it's convenient for you, but you know that you already have this holiday that is granted to you to go on holiday. It's important because when workers go on breaks like that and rest themselves, they can come back strong, they can come back with new ideas and refresh ideas. Because sometimes when you do the same thing over and over and over without rest, your head becomes even blocked. You don't see new ways to do it, and you don't, the zeal to do it is not there, so you need to rest yourself. I was telling some of my students at the atelier where I sew clothes, because I told you I sew clothes and I do makeup artistry. I was telling some of the students that were there to learn. I told them, I said, let's pack up and go home, because we had a lot of work that time and we're stressed out. I'm like, let's go home. They're like, what are we going to, let's go home. We're not going to die. And I started telling them, I said, listen, if I have a nervous breakdown and my back already aches and things like that, if I break down and die here, these people are just going to collect their fabrics and change the store where they sew clothes. Okay, they're just going to say, yeah, he was a great tailor, he used to sew good clothes, and that's as far as it goes, but you're dead. Okay, so you need to stop pleasing people. Sometimes even at your job site, when nobody wants to do their job, you now take the responsibility. Oh, don't worry, I'll care for it. You're tidying the mess for everybody. You're sacrificing your whole life just to please people and things like that. Rest, because you need the energy to come back and do things better. And when you come back to do things after resting, your mind is fresh, your ideas are new, and you have more courage. Okay, you have more skills, you have more zeal to do things. The next thing is that you need to take care of your mental health. Take care of your mental health. If you have trauma-related issues, take out some time to study about trauma and to find out, why do I feel traumatized, and why do I take care of your mental health. Taking care of your mental health will also mean that you take care of basically everything that comes into your brain. If, for example, your job is to sew clothes, take care of your mental health in the sense that you learn how to cut new patterns, you learn how to do new things, you learn how to, put in new stuff and fresh material into your mind, put in motivational things into your brain so that your brain doesn't get to this point where nothing new comes in. So care for your mind. If you have emotional issues, care for it and all of that. You need to really make out time for yourself. It's important for your mind and to, make sure that your mental state is okay. And then the last thing, and which is a bonus point, is that give yourself the permission to fall in love. Give yourself the permission to fall in love. It's very important for people who are workaholics. I know from my experience now that everybody who is like my friend or my acquaintance, they're just busy people and they don't have time for love, because they wake up in the morning, they go out, work, hustle, come back at night, they're tired. They don't have time for phone calls, they don't have time for text messages, there's nothing. Valentine's Day comes and goes, we all just sit together like widows and widowers, just talking about work. It's the story of my life. Those are the kind of people I hang around. So you need to give yourself permission to fall in love and to just make out time for your romantic life. I've seen people who sacrifice their life for their families and they don't have a love life, they don't have nothing, they don't have nobody to share their life with. Whitney Houston sang it properly. She said, oh, what's the sense of trying hard to find your dream without someone to share it with? Tell me, what does it mean? 'Cause I wanna run to you. That's a song by Whitney Houston, I Want to Run to You. So it's important. There's no sense finding all of this chasing life and, self-sacrificing yourself and just chasing money and chasing your dreams. And there's really no one that you can share it with. There's no one that you can share your dreams, your visions, your ambitions, your intentions, your future, your aspirations with. It makes no sense, because at the end of the day, you build a mansion, you live in this, you'll be a lonely soul. And this is what I've really started telling my friends, and I'm practicing myself, that you need to get a love life. without which you're going to end up like just a widow, a widower. You're going to end up just a loveless soul. And people that are loveless are very bitter. They're bitter and unemotional. So you need love in your life too. It's part of self-care. You need love. You need love in your life. And don't be cynical about love and say, oh, everybody's deceptive and everybody betrays my trust and everybody, wants to exploit me because of my money and things like that. Be open to love and give people the opportunity, and don't make other people pay the punishment for what other people have done to you. So it's important. Give yourself the permission to find love. So these are the points for self-care that you need to don't let people put their burdens on you. You need to learn how to spoil yourself. You need to rest enough. You need to care for your mental health. And lastly, you need to learn how to give yourself permission to love. So I'm called Rapha across all social media handles. On YouTube, I'm Rapha237. On Instagram, I'm Rapha_237. My real names are Rapha Godlove. I hope that you found this video useful. I hope that it can help you, redirect your life towards a positive direction so that you don't live this pitiful, wearisome life, but that you live a life that is joyful and very productive. I'll catch you some other time, but until next time, bye-bye.